About the Azir generally, but you can be scooped up if you portal jump at an unfortunate time. So let's see whether Showmaker is going to have the ability to do that throughout this game, whether Chovy's going to let him is more to the point. It's 4 seconds to go on our first ban of the second phase. We'll see where the focus is going to be on, taken away. And so Doran probably wasn't going to go towards that as his answer to the Jace.
Even that you could pick up, not that Ghost would necessarily pick one.
Position is very front-loaded. I mean, Doran wants to be explosive in these team fights and pop off with the Vanguard's edge, but when you run out of resets on your Blade Surge, he's a sitting duck, and especially alongside Olaf, who's going to do absolutely nothing. And this is an Olaf without any sort of support. It doesn't have the Taric there to give the heals. It doesn't have a Yuumi. It doesn't have any of this extra healing option. And Keria had the ability to go towards something like a Karma in this instance, and that would have helped the Olaf a lot, but not going to do so. They're going with the Nautilus this time to give Keria some playmaking ability. Let's see whether that is going to be enough here for DRX in this pivotal Game 5.
Well, to be completely honest with you, Atlas, I would prefer Damwon's draft 100 out of 100 games. But
oh, absolutely.
I am a shill for a certain player on the side of DRX.
Oh, sorry, I just checked the player of the game chat again. What's that? A little Chovy just being put in there already? We are at 10 seconds into the game. Okay, well, it's impressive. Impressive that you have thrown that one out there already. And it's a slight change-up. Of course, Showmaker has been going towards the Electrocute Zoe. In this matchup, Chovy has decided that he's picking up the Unsealed Spellbook, allowing him to teleport around and things like that. And Showmaker, of course, is going to be incentivized. Oh, okay. Very early flash there from Nogari. And they're not even going to check. They're just going to say, well, he's flash. They have a look. They see the, I believe you can see the flash animation. And so they're like, all right, we'll take that. Trading flash for a bubble.
So here is Chovy's LCK stats on Zoe. 71.9%, 9.4 KDA, and honestly, why not 9.5 is what I'm thinking, Atlas. I tend to say this a lot. So
how did he lose those games? Oh, wait. That was in playoffs against Faker most of the time.
Well, we'll see what he can do here, as it's the best Zoe in the LCK, and this entire DragonX team composition should come down to Zoe, because in a straight-up 5v5 in the later stages, it's near impossible to do anything unless Zoe creates an opening with a bubble, because the Taric MF Azir, you just can never get through them. Or you can never get onto them. As we get some emotes.
Yeah, Showmaker with the sad Zoe. He's like, oh, but I was playing Zoe this whole series. Why didn't you let me play Zoe? So mean. This Chovy's going to miss the first CS. Oh, super good. Actually, no, he grabs a couple before the camera panned, but he's going to miss that one on screen with that bubble. Because we'll see how Doran's going to do. Now, Nogari is flashless up towards the top side, so it might actually buy the Aurelia a little bit of space to fight this one out. As double up, not really going to get too much extra value, as our first Drake is going to be that Cloud, as Showmaker takes a bunch of damage there from Chovy, but still able to trade back pretty nicely. Has a built-up minion wave here as well.
I'd like to take a little bit of the downtime here to wish Ender a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Mr. Christie.
Yeah, wrap it up, Alice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we call him in?
Yeah, I mean, may as well. Take it away, Ender. He's currently co-streaming in the Twitch chat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That's why it's full of weird champs. I was wondering why there was so many weird champs in our yeah, we got some Feels birthday man. There we go. We got some Feels birthday man and some weird champs. That's exactly what you want.
That is it. So
congratulations. And maybe like, what is he? 19 years old now?
I think he just
something
turned,
like that.
I think he's 16 now.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. He's made it. He can legally drive. That's terrifying. Okay. No, we're not allowed to say mean things, not on his birthday. Love you, Ender. Hoping to see you again soon after all of this Corona stuff is over. And so one of the really sad things about this epidemic is not being able to see so many of our friends overseas. Ender, of course, being one of them. Is Canyon clearing out a scuttle crab here on the bottom side. And the reason why we're talking about birthdays and things like that is because we're in a lull state at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah. That's exactly it, as we're just waiting for the lane phases to sort of commence. And Doron taking the Aurelia up into top lane against Nuggery is sort of an attempted show of strength where he's going to try to fight it as a knife fight rather than take a tank. And so far, so good. I mean, he's pushing in a wave. You know that Sejuani isn't going to be on this side of the map, and he's respecting it, though. You can actually see as he's waiting for his Blade Surge, just wants to get the crash on the next minion wave. So the reason that he's not pushing instantaneously is he needs all these minions to help him crash the next wave and get the recall off. And if he does that, he doesn't have to actually commit his teleport, and thus could possibly get teleport advantage here against the Jace, as 17 versus 9, as Aladios versus Misfortune in the LCK.
Yeah, we have to remember that this was, you know, all of the games in the first 2 rounds of the LCK, and Aphelios, he copped a few nerfs over that time. So maybe slightly skewed information, as Doran's trying to mitigate some damage there, but it wasn't actually going to land onto him, as those mini waves that you were talking about aren't quite going to make it to that turret, and Doran's still channeling it back. We'll see whether that means that he is going to invest his teleport, as he decides instead to just cancel as he moves over a ward.
So much respect over to Sejuani, and because he actually played his lane phase poorly, giving, again, that much respect over to Sej, it has now created a spot where, yeah, Canyon comes in, he applies a lot of pressure, and Doran's lane is in a miserable state, and this is a byproduct of mismanagement of the wave. So, Nuggery in a pretty good position. Now, you know,
and he's going to have a pretty obscene experience lead as well as we move further into this game. That's only going to be worse and worse for this Aurelia. As like you were saying, it's a knife fight, and if your knife just isn't getting sharpened, it's really not going to be working out here, as Doran does have a very fast Ninja Tabi. But, yeah.
The thing here is that both of the top laners still have teleport, but Nuggery has a massive XP lead, and he has a freeze. So this game is so rough, and all of this could have been avoided if Doran just didn't interact with his lane opponent and just played the minion waves. And if he did that correctly, this never would have occurred. He would have been actually in a fantastic spot, because he would have been able to recall into Ninja Tabi and get himself a longsword to boot and come back to the lane in a favorable spot, and then probably end up having teleport advantage. But as it stands right now, top lane's bleeding again. It's really, really problematic. DRX did get first dragon of the game. Mountain's coming up next, and the best thing that you could hope for is an Ocean Soul for DRX.
Yeah, if they can utilize their Zoe in the mid game to get themselves an Ocean Soul, which is almost an unbeatable dragon. We have seen it lose, but in every instance that it has, it shouldn't have. As Doran is at least now able to get the wave to come over his side of the map, and maybe this will allow him to equalize, but so far you can see the damage feels like it's been done, as Nuggery is very far ahead of this lane thus far. Chovy, as one of our best Zoes in the world, is able to, of course, roll multiple redemptions in the early game. That is how you define a good Zoe.
Yeah, no doubt. That is exactly.
Even gets himself a summoner heal. Pretty good.
And I mean, it's what you have to do. If you're trying to become a Zoe player yourself, if you're watching the broadcast and you're playing her, first, you're going to want to make sure to get a skip. Second, you're going to want to make sure that you roll Redemption, Ignite.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Or Exhaust now that it's been slightly buffed. It's also very, very strong.
I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know how both top laners keep... I mean, because we only get pans to the lane, but every time it pans up to top lane, the lane state is always not favorable to whoever was actually just in control of it. So something is going really strange up there in top.
And Nuggery also seems to be playing really reserved, like expecting there to be a Pyoshik always waiting in the wings. And just hasn't been there. And you can see that wave finally going to crash here for Doran. He's going to go back. Looks like Blade of the Ruin King coming in as item number 1. Does have that Vampiric Scepter already done. And now just going to cycle a Corrupting Potion as he walks back to lane and gets all of those charges back as well. So you can see Damwon has started off the Rift Herald as they love doing. And all of this Honey Fruit is going to go over to Noggery. And so we'll see whether Deft can find some value on this bottom side as DRX looking to actually try and fight after this. Double game overs. But Damwon not going to be deterred, so not going to be made to look silly as Deft does have his Crescendum, but you can see there's the bullet time as Deft is going to soak a lot of it, but not a lot of damage behind that one at the moment. But Noggery is teleported in, and now Deft just realizing that he has to try. Oh my god, he's able to do it! And now Noggery, can he actually fight this one out? The answer is no. The power of Aphelios, ladies and gentlemen, as Deft just turns it on its head.
He
What
gives
was
the
that?
Yasuo, bring it on mode to Damwon. Oh man. Oh, her plate I don't think went down to Aurelia. So that is really unfortunate. But Deft turning that on its head gets such insane value. As now Canyon, he's left to pick up the remains in top lane in DragonX. They alleviate all of the pressure that was present in top. Deft, he picks up a very good kill and propels himself into a fantastic position here. In game number 5, Aurelia.
텔 찍었다 바텀. 텔 봐줄 수 있나?
Can
죽었다,
you
나
pay
죽었다.
attention to tell? I'm dead. Chase is there. Nice. I'm going. Nice. Oh, nice.
It wasn't actually as much reaction as I was expecting out of DRX. But still, trying to keep it as serious as possible, understanding that they didn't want it to get to this game number 5 situation. Now looking to try and deny the reverse sweep from Damwon. And so far, with First Blood going on to Deft once again, they're in a good position to do so, especially with Chovy on the Zoe. Always such a scary prospect as he is spotted on vision. But we've got second Drake being taken here for free once again. And Doran gets a control ward into this brush, and now Chovy is in position. Finds the bubble onto the piggy as that Drake is taken down. So a little bit of time wasted here as we do have that Ocean Soul like you were talking about. Oh man, and actually with all of the brushes, it is a big deal for Zoe as well, who can play those smoke and mirrors quite nicely. As Shelly will be able to get that charge, but not quite able to lock down this turret or anything like that. And Deft is continuing to find value as Chovy looking for a little bit more. Carrier has been unlocked from the lane as Deft over on the side here just helping out. He'll be clearing out vision for himself.
And the way that this game currently stands, it's a 1,000 gold lead for DRX. They did roll Ocean Soul, so that's one of their win cons now. We talked about earlier how DRX, they would have a mountain to climb. If this game went the distance, it would be near impossible for anyone except for Zoe to teamfight against Damwon. But Ocean Soul is pretty much Exodia, so it's really hard to lose with it. And DRX are in a really good position. They should almost certainly get the 3rd dragon without much contest, but the 4th one, that's going to be the one that Damwon should fight tooth and nail for. And if DRX gets it, I think they're going to move on to Wednesday versus T1.
Yeah. And you can see Rod of Ages actually completed here for Showmaker. So changing up the Azir build path quite a lot, but actually it is going to mean that he's likely to spike very close to that time that you were talking about. Noggery not going to be hit by that flawless duet, but the Chilling Smite is going to come down. Undertow's now landing as another Blade Surge comes in, and that is a dead Noggery towards the top side. 2-0 now in favor of DRX.
Well, this is not what you want to have happening. The Jace falling off right now is very, very unfortunate because he's going for the lethality, Jason. If he's going to be down in EXP as well as gold, he's not going to have as much effectiveness transitioning here into mid-game. Everything else, though, is pretty stable. What is the... Sorry, I'm having a bit of an allergic reaction. I just looked at Azir's inventory. Take it away, Alice.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned this before. Not sure what the Rod of Ages is doing. But I thought maybe it's playing around getting a power spike at the right point. That's, you know, my glass is often half full. As Doran over here, soaking up turret plates where he can. Pyosik once again going to find his way forward. Noguri, no flash, remember. It's Pyosik just going to start this one up. Blade Surge is going to be there as Pyosik happily tanking up the turret, and Noguri has hit that 0-2 power spike maybe a little bit earlier than he would have wanted.
Well, it does seem like Noguri is sort of falling apart, and remember the play that happened in bottom. This is an entirely different game if MF and Jace get that kill and get a lot of turret plates, and Deft is really far behind at this point in time. And the Jace also would have a lot more CS than he currently does, as well as a kill under his belt. And this stuff happening in top lane is just sort of a collapse that's happening for Damwon as DRX, they're up 3,000 gold at 14 minutes, and they're looking poised to get this Ocean Drake in 1.5 minutes. Infinity Edge almost complete for Deft. Luden's almost on the side of Zoe. Now, the one upside about this Rod of Ages is that if you do take a Zoe bubble to the face, you can survive because of all the excess HP that you normally shouldn't have available. And then the little bit of added durability against the dive of DRX is it's something that happens if they get on top of you. But if they get on top of you, you have to wonder maybe why that is exactly happening. So in this replay here, Doran just doing a really good job at coming up, and then once again, Noguri just refusing to not try to go up to this wave, even though the new one had crashed. And really good turret aggro, and Doran getting the kill. And he's really, really big on this Aurelia here in game number 5, and he's doing a phenomenal job at winning the knife fight.
Yeah, mitigating Noguri almost completely as Shirley will obviously be going over to DRX here. Not a lot of option, but 30 seconds on the Ocean Drake will give Damwon an opportunity to head over there and lock that one down for themselves, potentially, when they hear the cry of Shirley. But Chovy with a bit of control here at the mid lane, not able to find the paddle start onto Canyon. But he has to move out of this river. Beryl moving on over, and the Herald is there, taken eventually. Another bubble, but not going to find Showmaker, who does, of course, have cleanse, so he'll be all right. Yoshik moving on down, and the Ocean Drake has now spawned, but it looks like the Olaf will get into position.
Well, Ocean Drake is up. This is a crucial moment. And the fact that Damwon are actually looking to contest it is very dicey, because if they lose the team fight, the game will end.
Well, Deft does have Moonlight Vigil available. Throws out the Q, but they are going to lose the Drake. It's actually taken by Misfortune, of all people. It's Chovy taken down to about half. Heal utilized. That was one that he had pilfered away. As now Shirley pops up in the mid lane, and DRX will be able to get a little bit of extra control. Bubble is going to form a wall, but Shifting Sands gets Showmaker over there. And now DRX continue to stay in position. Noguri going to land a little bit of poke, as at least the minion wave is dealt with. But the second charge comes out from Shirley. Bubble's not going to find the targets that it's looking for. DRX still on the prowl.
And the thing here about this is that, okay, well, Chovy...
Bubble landed.
Yeah, going to be able to walk out. Nothing too awful is going to happen. It's a 4,000 gold lead right now for DRX, but that Ocean Dragon capture, it bought Damwon a lot of time. It gives them it basically an extra 12 minutes or so until a really doomsday fight would end up coming out.
Okay.
He's going to be fine as he goes for the recall.
Chovy does have a large lead. Doran once again picking up local gold for a turret kill. 3 turrets to 1. Now in favor of DragonX, who moved towards close to a 5,000 gold lead, actually, this stage of the game. And after Noguri had denied Doran all of that experience, Doran is now leading with the most experience in the game. Actually, close to a 2-level advantage still, as that level 11 has only just been acquired by Noguri, and Doran is very close to 13.
And at this point in the game, we're going to enter into a little bit of a lull state. We actually haven't gotten too many Pog states here.
Yeah.
Last time Valdez and I casted, we did have some episodes of Forbidden Love.
I was there for them.
Yeah.
I was certainly watching along. Do enjoy myself a few episodes of Forbidden Love here and there. So was very glad about that one. But yeah, you're right. There hasn't been too many of the POG states because there's been a lot to talk about as far as how these two teams have been playing out. What have been very similar, yet different compositions. And now, certainly the biggest change-up in playstyle, especially given the fact that Chovy is the one playing the Zoe this time. And finally, we see, okay, Chovy having to flash as Showmaker doesn't find the Emperor's Divide. Shock Blast into the backline, Deft already down to half. As Cosmic Radiance doesn't find any value, the bubbles continue to fly. So good disengage by DRX, but Chovy's flash now on cooldown.
And DRX are posturing around mid lane right now. Deft is back to being somewhat healthy. They really seem like they want to just raise this tier 2 turret in mid, but the question ends up being, is 500 gold, 250 of which is dispersed amongst the 5 members in close proximity, is it necessary to win the game? The answer would be no. So they're losing out on a lot of side lane gold and XP, and they're also clumping up and sharing a lot of the XP. As Damwon, I mean, the 4,000 gold deficit remains pretty unmoving. As a minute and a half again until the Ocean Dragon ends up spawning. And
yeah, this is going to be a very important one for DRX too.
Yeah, if they don't get this one, I think that Damwon will have successfully bought themselves enough time to really let their team composition flourish and come online.
Yeah, and Showmaker now with very close to 10 stacks on that Rod of Ages like you were talking about, and he's going to pair that 10 stacks mark, most likely with the Nash's Tooth. Only 900 gold away from that. That should be very, very close. Or 1,000, sorry. I think I tell a lie. But still, very, very close to picking that one up. Just needs to combine those two items that he has in his back pocket. And that's going to be a big power spike for the Azir. Definitely an unorthodox power spike, to say the least. But still going to be out ahead there very, very shortly. As 54 seconds on this Ocean Drake, Doran able to get some vision available to himself and the rest of his team. And you can see DRX with a lot of vision control around the Dragon. Very important for a Zoe composition to retain that vision control.
Well, 30 seconds until the Ocean is going to come up. And we look at the gold. I don't believe that Nuguri is going to be able to actually complete the Duskblade of Drakthar prior to this team fight. So the Aurelia should have the leg up in terms of not only stats, but also levels. Here we go.
Yep, Showmaker in a lot of trouble, but does keep himself alive for a very long time. And now the Cosmic Radiance comes in. Carrier goes Golden Ghost, almost gets popped on the back line, but is going to survive. He looks for a back right now, might give DRX the opportunity to move towards this Drake pit. As Nogari's towards the bottom side, pinging the bottom lane. And Pioshik will find himself the undertow. A great bubble is going to land there onto Showmaker, but no follow-up with any paddle stars. As Chovy off towards the side. They do need to land some good poke, but Nogari is going to start off this Drake. And Ghost has already made his way back down. So this is going to be a straight-up 5v5. But they don't have Emperor's Divide. Great bubble is going to block off the entrance there.
This is scary.
This is very scary for both sides. Showmaker is very, very low. Bubble not going to quite land, but Deft, he's at full health. Now looking for the front line as Chovy just pops the Taric. He didn't have the ulti, but this is going to mean Soul Point over to DRX. And now they're going to move towards that mid lane. They will have the inside track and should be able to take down the inner turret as well for some added economy. And if you have a look at the mini-map, the top lane also has a minion wave that is just going to get taken down by that turret. And so that's more gold going missing for Damwon.
And at this point, they've brought it to Soul Point, 5,500 gold lead as well. And things are looking pretty grim. Damwon didn't quite have the stats that they would have wanted to take this team fight, as maybe even getting a little bit panicked right now. They know Chovy doesn't have flash.
Yep, there's the flash ulti, but Canyon not going to be able to find the Zoe. No flash available, as you can see, but the trouble bubble will land. There's the Emperor's Divide, as Chovy not going to be surviving this one. And Damwon thinking about this as an opportunity to go for a Baron. And we'll see whether DRX is going to be able to stop them, because this is going down very quickly.
Oh man, this is really scary. Pioshik does have ult available, but Taric ult too.
Moonlight Vigil available as well, as Deft able to get a lot of AoE damage, but the Baron is taken. My god, this Aphelios is tearing Damwon apart. And it's a triple kill instantly for Doran. Now hunting for the Quadra as Nogari is doing his best to escape with the only Baron that Damwon has. It's already a negative Baron power play, and that may continue.
And I don't know.
DRX have so much space on this map.
I have no idea what Beryl was doing. He never even casted the Taric ultimate during that fight. You know that DragonX were going to just enter the pit. First, we'll take a look at the Dragon Dance. You can see the river ramp sort of happening right now. And take a look at Shobi getting off on the Taric while he flies coming right back into the action. Yoshi doing a little bit of a tango with Nuggery, and that was
home now. We'll see what item he's able to complete. As he gets back there, it's Merlin on the con. Of course it is. Now DRX just waiting towards this mid-outer turret, and Deft will be able to pick up these minions very easily with his newly completed Runan's Hurricane. Going for the double Zeal item this time. It was Essence Reaver after these first couple of items were completed last time around. This time aiming for some added crit and attack speed.
Well, 1 minute and 15 seconds until the Ocean Soul is going to end up coming up. And this is going to be really dicey. Damwon, they are going to be in a pretty good position prior to this coming up though. It's not like
it's tagged.
Oh, they got.
Yep, there's the dive onto Chovy, but he's able to flash to get himself to safety. Bullet time does absolutely nothing as the Moonlight Vigil is going to land. The bubble also, but Beryl just barely making it out with his life. And the Sun Turret is going to be taken down here. DRX do get rid of that one. Bit of extra gold now available for Hyoshik. But getting Chovy's flash is a big deal. It means he's not going to be able to make any more of these big aggressive plays to try and sneak these bubbles into the back line. But now, 24 seconds, and we have Ocean Soul available on the Rift. And Beryl was forced to go back. And so it's going to be Damwon having to fight against all of this DRX vision to try and get in there for a potential fight. And they have to fight for this one.
5 seconds until it's going to be available. Guardian Angel on the side of Doran as well for this team fight. Hyoshik does take damage. I think that Damwon might just try to burst it down and Hail Mary this, but man!
They're going for it as there's the Vanguard's Edge into the backline. Chovy is going to try and put Canyon to sleep, who finds the Glacial Prison onto Doran, but he surges his way out. And so far, this is a one team fight, but a double kill for Chovy. Beryl trying to run out as Nogari's going to fall. The Drake was secured by Damwon, but at what cost? Oh, and he's stopped. This might actually be a key back that's stopped as well, because now Damwon might lose an inhibitor as Doran trying to get over this wall, but there's control vision. And it looks like available. Canyon will make it back safely.
So he TPs onto the mid turret, and I guess they do this because they need the excess damage from the Aurelia. Canyon's going to try to be the gatekeeper. He's going to push the minion wave back.
He's going to try to, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough, as there's the ace and DRX. They lose the minion wave, so Canyon absolutely did his job. Baron not available for another minute, and Damwon are out of the woods for now.
So Canyon made a really key decision to stay on top of the Ocean Dragon and try to get that, otherwise it would have been a lost game. As you can see, the Aurelia wrecking havoc in the backline as Chovy dogging everyone down, but you could see the health bars in that fight. That was kind of scary.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, where the Taric is really valuable against all of these DRX members, because consider how far ahead they are. And Canyon, he sacrificed his life to keep them in this game. It's 7,000 gold right now in favor of DRX. And things are still just, they're gearing up right now. 15 seconds until the Baron. And
Yep,
Atlas,
and
I
3.5
don't know.
minutes on that Ocean Soul.
This is really scary. Now, when neither party have summoners, I actually think the edge goes in DRX's court because Zoe becomes that much scarier.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I think that Doran's absolutely pivotal in this game as well. As you can see, vision available for Damwon. Nogre splitting on the bottom side, has teleport. And Carrier in from the side, looking to try and get Canyon out of here. Has CC'd him up, because they are going to be able to take down the Baron. Canyon, a very late flash into this pit, is going to be taken down by Deft. As now Doran flashing on in. Oh, the Cosmic Radiance is not enough. And Doran just jumps on top of them. Pyoshik and Chovy grab the kills there as Nogari once again finds himself the last man standing. As this time he doesn't have the Baron. And yeah, Carrier is saying, I'm sorry, mate, but we have won this game. Is going to stop that back eventually. Carrier going to get punished for it, but the biggest punishment is going to be on Nogari, as he is not going to be able to find the win this game. Not going to find the reverse sweep for Damwon Gaming. And DRX have earned their bout against T1. But Damwon damn sure made them work for it after a first two games that were not close.
And that is going to be